Hello, I'm going to tell you a story about the Wigley Group. For any business, reaching 50 years of trading is a remarkable achievement. For the Wigley Group, it's no different. For this commercial property and development company based in the Midlands, 2014 marks their 50th anniversary. The group has continued to grow, and it doesn't look like ending anytime soon. But the company we see today hasn't always been like that. Their history is one of hard work.
It was part of him, and from that he never did a day's work in his life, because he just woke up every morning and did what he did and loved it.
Seeing opportunity where others didn't.
It was quite a brave move. It probably just caught Coventry at the right time in a way, from that point of view.
Loyalty.
You knew people weren't going to leave the company. They were there for life.
And perhaps most importantly, nurturing a good relationship with everyone.
You feel very relaxed around them. It really means that you can have an honest and open relationship with them.
So let's look back at a remarkable 50 years, when a farmer in Barby started with 2 tractors, a plough and a typewriter, and ended up building a respected property firm that is already looking ahead to the next 50 years. So let me take you back to 1964. Winston Churchill, the man who many say was the greatest Prime Minister we ever had, retired from Parliament. Great Britain won 4 gold medals and 12 silver at the Tokyo Olympics, and the Beatles broke into America for the very first time, leading the British invasion.
The monarchs of Merseyside Town.
Meanwhile, the story of the Wigley Group starts here, Barby, in Northamptonshire.
Well, it all began, father was a farmer in Barby. He had various agricultural equipment which he began to hire out, and that was the beginning of his plant hire business. And he progressed from there into larger plant and larger contracts.
I believe they went into road building and civil work, and in typical kind of Wigley fashion, it naturally evolved over time.
Towards the end of the 70s, the UK economy was in poor health. The decade that had seen the 3-day week, the oil crisis and the winter of discontent was taking its toll. And in Coventry, the decline of the British motor industry had led to some of the highest unemployment rates in the country. But while others were predicting doom and gloom, John and the team were planning their next move.
An opportunity came about for John to invest in the Edgewick Park Industrial Estate in Coventry. Pretty much the shirt on his back, gambled on Edgewick, which, 50 years later has obviously paid off.
He basically bought some 60-year-old buildings which didn't look anything to anybody and turned them into an industrial estate, which I think in its time was reasonably innovative. Not many people did it then.
As well as having a shrewd business sense, the company was steered through these times by the hard work of its team and senior management. John Wigley, Gordon Davis and Terry Grant. And it was these personalities whose tireless work laid the foundation for the company.
Fundamentally, they were incredibly good businessmen, and they knew and saw opportunities that others didn't.
Dad was very much the ideas man and Gordon was very much the doer.
The loyalty between Gordon and John was quite prominent as well, and the way that Gordon looked after the family and the way that John looked after everybody, and that has been the sort of the way that the Wigleys have always worked.
So in 2005, Robert followed in his father's footsteps and took over as the managing director of the company. Since then, he's worked to keep the family-orientated approach that created such a loyal team. As well as the long-standing members like David Wilson, one of those was Maurice Adams, who has worked for the company for over 30 years.
Despite the fact that there were people on board that weren't members of the family, it was a very family-oriented company with a strong paternal attitude.
Now, after expanding the portfolio and introducing Wigley Commercial Services to become the Wigley Group, the company is welcoming new members of the team.
The Wigleys really gave me the opportunity to develop my skills as a facilities manager straight away. They encouraged me to go where I wanted to go.
I think because we're a small team, a lot is based on trust, and the longer I've been here, the more trust I feel that people have had for me, and likewise I have with other people.
I've said it to Rob many a time, but it's one of the best working environments I've worked in, and I think that's why people stick together so long.
By now it's clear that part of the reason the Wigley Group has come this far is because of a firm commitment to its principles. Nowhere is it more evident than in their charity work, raising money for the Parachute Regiment's Afghanistan Trust, with their annual golf day and gala dinner that so far has raised close to £30,000. The charity supports injured soldiers of the Parachute Regiment, like Invictus Games double gold medalist Jacko Van Gass.
I met Rob and James and a number of the other guys from the Wigley Group at one of their events that they sponsored. It was a charity golf day followed by a lovely dinner. They seemed quite inspired by what I was talking about, which means a great deal to me, and they really wanted to help, and we started chatting.
It's kind of onwards and upwards, and that is now a definite diary date each year, and we're already starting to think about next year's event and how we can try and get to that £20,000.
After 50 years, the company is still building upon the principles of hard work, loyalty and trust. And that's reflected on how it continues to go from strength to strength.
Since 2010, where it all started back here at the Bacchus Bar, where Maurice and I sat one Christmas afternoon discussing how we were going to move forward, it's been non-stop really, and as a group we've developed, expanded our portfolio, expanded our staff, and really now we're set up for the next 50 years and can't wait.
So, how can you sum up a company with 50 years of rich history and such bright prospects for the future? Perhaps that's best left to the team themselves.
God, what was it again?
3 words, let's think. I would say pretty straight company.
Efficient, elegant.
Family, trust, honesty.
Well, how would you describe it when somebody just puts their teeth in it and doesn't let go?
Ambitious is one of them, dedicated.
Tenacious.
Adaptive.
Reliability.
And evolving.
Enthusiasm.
Progressive.
Trustworthy.
Right, who do I see to get paid? Anyone?